True Jackson VP was filmed in front of a live studio audience.
I called it the stank.
That can also... Hey guys! Hey guys! Just had to calm myself. Okay, so hi guys, welcome back.
Hi,
Audrey,
seasoned
your knee
professional.
is bleeding.
Cut.
My knee is actually bleeding. So, hey guys, it's Audrey, and I'm here with my best friend Jack.
Hi.
Jack and I actually both go to college for musical theater. You go where?
Go to Rider University.
And I go to Elon University. And we love it, but we had to go through a tough process to get to where we are. Would you say so?
I would definitely say so.
Definitely not the greatest time.
Yeah, but we've all got to go through it.
I don't know if any of you know what this is, but it's called Courtney's break room. Last year for us it was called the green room.
Who's
You know.
Courtney?
Courtney, take your break.
Courtney, take your break.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's the point.
Oh my gosh.
Did you not realize?
No, I didn't understand.
This boy goes to school for musical theater.
We should put this up in the polls or something. Like,
Okay,
you know.
comment down below when I said Courtney's break room, and if you are a musical theater person, you knew exactly what I was talking about, so you say
They're
yes.
all gonna
If
comment
you had
down
no
below
idea what I was
this.
talking about, just say no. Essentially, it's everyone who's auditioning for musical theater in college who wants to be a part of the group just gets added to the group, and people just talk about the auditions, the requirements of all these schools, because a lot of them are different. And it's not the easiest process to navigate, so it's a very helpful group. But I didn't join the group until like February of audition season. We didn't find out about it until like that.
Yeah.
And that's when I told Jack about it. And I was like, wait, there's this thing where you can ask other people questions and people can tell you what you need for your auditions. And I was like marveled. Sometimes you would just be wondering like, oh, do I submit like my pre-screen first or do I submit this
right,
first?
yeah,
Or like
there were
what
always
is
questions.
the green room or Courtney's break room now is a good place to ask those questions. But I know that a lot of people aren't necessarily on that, maybe don't have a Facebook, maybe just like aren't on social media. But a lot of people come to YouTube. Woo! But anyway, I posted on Courtney's break room asking people to ask some questions that they maybe want answered for this Q&A. So let's get started, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, okay, here's one. This is from Jessica. How did you prepare the day before an audition?
The classic.
The classics. Wait, but like, did you?
No.
Yeah, like I don't know.
The day before, all of my auditions were really different because some days I would be traveling and like on a flight the day before an audition. You know, some things are just kind of outside of your control and you kind of just have to, I don't know, relax. And the way I did it was I just like took some like me time. Yeah.
How so?
I mean, if I was traveling, like I was usually traveling with a parent, so like we would talk, but we wouldn't talk extensively. My mom or dad would respect the idea that I needed time to just kind of like read or watch Netflix. You know?
Yeah.
What about you?
I didn't necessarily have like a ritual of what I did the day before.
No.
That never really like crossed my mind. It was just kind of like I was driving for 11 hours the day before. It was not really like I did something to prepare. The day before your audition, you better already be prepared for your audition, if that makes sense. Don't be memorizing a monologue. Don't be memorizing a song. Relax, make sure that you have your homework done. I didn't really ever like do my homework on my way to an audition or like at an audition. It wasn't that I didn't have a lot. It was just I would make sure that like I knew I had an audition that weekend so I wouldn't leave anything to do, or I would just do it after.
It just helps if you have your homework and all of your outside work done because I like to give my entire energy and my entire, you know, headspace to whatever's going on at the audition as opposed to thinking about, you know, whatever's troubling you from the outside world.
Well, you're already so anxious from the audition. Not saying that these auditions have to be like anxiety filled or like really scary. Honestly, I had a great time at most of my auditions, but you're gonna be nervous, like that's inevitable. Oh, so like I'm very much an extrovert, like I get my energy from other people. So when I was waiting at auditions, I was just always just like talking to people. If I was sitting next to someone, I would be like, hi, like what's your name? Nice to meet you. Just cause like, I don't know.
She's being weird. Don't.
Talking to people got my mind off of what was about to ensue.
Dara, after acceptances, how did you make the final decision on what program was right for you? Like across the board, I think I made the right choice because I went with what my gut was telling me to do as opposed to where everybody else was telling me I had to go. Everybody has a different experience everywhere, and I think once you get into schools too, you're kind of in a position where you could thrive at, you know, more than one, and you could thrive at probably most of the schools that you got into, because if you couldn't, then why would you apply there? For me, the name of the game, as long as you go with your heart, you're probably gonna make the right decision at that point in time, and then if it doesn't work out, great, you'll work out. And if it works out, even better, great.
I knew Elon was the place for me because when I left my audition, I literally got in the car and we were driving off the campus and I was bawling my eyes out because I was like, I want to go here, but the acceptance rate is so low and I'm not gonna get in. And then I got in like 2 weeks later, so it was like really amazing. But like, that's the thing, like you will feel it. And I don't know how to describe it. It's really not something you can necessarily describe or explain, but you will know, and it's really unlikely that you're gonna be so confused that you'll never be able to make a decision. Do this one.
Courtney's break room.
Madeline.
Okay. Can you explain walk-ins if you did any?
Did you do any?
I did one.
Okay, explain it then. Because I didn't do any.
I only went to New York City Unifieds.
Same.
Which is just, it's a lot. The way most of the auditions work is there's usually a person sitting outside of these little like studios, and there's usually like a little table and like a folding chair, and you just go up to them, or sometimes that you might actually have to knock on the door to go in, but like don't recommend before asking someone because there could be an audition going on there. And you just ask them like, do you have any like open audition spots, you know, today? Like, are there any open times? And if they say yes, then yeah. And if they don't, no. And a lot of times they'll like advertise them too.
Yeah, it'll say
But
like Walkins welcome.
Yeah,
and
I don't
you
have a
just
whole
do
lot
it.
of like first-hand experience from that because I just did one, and it's my understanding that like all walk-ins are kind of operated differently.
This is from Lissy, and also somebody else asked this. Maddie also asked this. Did you do Unifieds? If so, any tips? So personally, I did not attend Unifieds like extensively. I went to New York Unifieds. It was literally an hour and 25-minute drive to New York for Unifieds, and what I did was I did Carnegie Mellon on a Friday and then University of Miami on a Sunday. And I just drove up Friday morning, did my audition at Carnegie Mellon, drove home, drove up on Sunday morning, did my audition for Miami, drove home. So it was like, I didn't necessarily have a Unifieds experience. So what I did, I consulted Elon MT22 and I asked them what they thought. And this is what they said. Julie Roberts, who is actually my roommate, she said, my advice to people would be, if you know you're going to run into people you know, try not to socialize way too much, stay in the zone, don't get distracted by all the people you know. So I agree with this to an extent, because personally, with me, I like talking to a lot of people. That was what would distract me. But if you are, you know, like Julie, or you kind of said you like being in the zone.
Yeah, I mean, I just kind of like to do things to distract me, like, from what I'm doing, which is how a lot of people are, too. Mm-hmm. But a lot of people are also like Audrey, and they like to talk to other people, and I really think it's what works, whatever makes you feel most comfortable and yourself.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if staying in the zone is like your thing and like listening to music, totally go for it, like you do you. This is from my friend Ben. He goes, don't get the flu and throw up and then run 10 blocks to your next audition. I mean, this does bring up a good point. Stay healthy. Daniel Brackett said stay organized, and always have dance clothes and audition clothes in your bag. I don't know, you should always just keep your audition bag like set. Because one time I went to Emerson and I went and I realized I didn't have my leotard or my tights. Did you ever forget anything? Did you ever forget anything?
For a second I was like, you talking to me? I don't think I did. I know there were always people at like probably every audition that were like,
does anybody have this?
yeah.
Yeah. And like running around being like, and it's like just one other thing that you have to worry about. So that day of Emerson, I almost got to that audition late because I had to go to Macy's and get clothes for the dance audition. How did you effectively prepare your pieces without a coach?
Oh.
So for me, I had my voice teacher and my acting coach / teacher. I really only met with him like 5 times, but he helped me so much. He gave me the monologues. I memorized them on my own, and then I came back to him like with what I had done with them, and then he critiqued them. It was so helpful, and I would definitely suggest meeting up with someone who is a professional in acting, or like, I definitely didn't do it without any help, but I definitely was not like given step-by-step guidance, and it was a lot of like figuring things out on my own, asking people who were older than me what they did. Genuinely, I'm glad that I didn't make my parents spend the money for a coach. But what did you think?
MTCA was fantastic and it was a wonderful resource for me personally, and I really loved using them, but you kind of touched on something. No matter if you use a coach or not, you've still never gone through the experience before, and for me at least, and for a lot of people I know, the experience just is a learning experience, and as you begin to do it, you're going to get better as you go, just because that's how life works. So there were some questions that like I tried to ask people that they couldn't answer. Like for example, like, what if I do this? Like, what are they going to do? And like, how can you answer that question? Because like, you never know. Being successful comes from being prepared, I think, and comes from being comfortable enough to be, your own authentic self.
And I would say, like, I know this question wasn't asked, but I would say the thing that gets you into schools is your personality. They see so many people with the same level of talent, but what gets you into these schools is your personality, how you act in the room, and how polite you are, and all these different things. That's how they know that you're gonna fit in there, and how this is gonna be a place where you're going to thrive. Okay, and that's it for the video.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in.
I hope that these tips were helpful in some way, shape, or form. And if you have any more questions,
reach out.
Reach out. Reach out if you have any more questions. I can always do another video. I can feature some of my other friends who are MTs from either other schools, or if you want more Elon MTs, let me know, because I can hit them up. And yeah. Comment, like, subscribe, share the video with people you think might need this. So we're just gonna clink it out. Peace.
We'll see you next time.
We'll see you in the next video, guys. Thanks for freaking watching. I wanna be a producer with a hit show on Broadway. She's amazing.
She's around the corner.
Until she's around the corner.